So what happened the other day when I went to a concert? I don't think I uploaded that video, did I? Yeah, things were happening. Um, so I don't think I did. And then, so at the concert, like a whole bunch of weird things happened, but I was just trying to enjoy the concert, and like I get caught off guard when I'm whatever century you have a good day in or whatever. And so I don't like start like always getting all weird and like interrogating everyone. But so first right off, I'm like noticing one of the first singers looks like the dead singer of the band who's gonna play. And then that doesn't mean anything. It's like, okay, so he likes gwar because he's like that person, right? It makes sense. I mean, but we've already seen the clones a million times, so we know that the clones are also alike. So of course they're both in a band. And then another one, like this one's going around talking and stuff. So you can tell right away he's like crazy, like the band singer is supposedly dead now. And I've had several of the people in the room, so it would be far off for me to assume this is like him, especially because he's shorter. Like, I can't assume this is like the same person, just acting like he's dead to escape and stuff, escape the fame or whatever. And like he made sure to talk to me too. Like he came over and asked me a question and stuff. And then like more stuff like that happened. Like several people showed up. Like some dude who was with the band supposedly, and looked exactly like some other people I knew. Looked like Dog the Bounty Hunter. And then there was two people there. One I'd asked to see me again, kind of because I liked that person. Thought I liked their looks, kind of. There was someone in the past, and so nothing happened there. But this person was with a female. This female was with another female who looked exactly like her boyfriend. And that like caught me, like all this stuff was starting to happen. And it caught me so off guard. I'm like sitting there staring at the person, and they're like, "What's up with you? Like, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, no, you look like someone I know." I was like, "Your friend does too." And I didn't pay attention to her name, but I should have asked what her friend's name was. Um, I couldn't think of it at the time. And like just more weird stuff like that. And so like after I'm in there thinking about that, and I'm like questioning, like, am I like inventing like some of these people? Like, this really feels like that weird God stuff coming back. And so we walk outside, and then there's a person proselytizing about God out there too. And not only that, then it turns out two of like the five anomalies in there apparently were there together. I mean, the other two were there together, and then uh, the other two were hanging out outside together. And I'm just like weirded out the whole time because I'm like, dude, like, how is this even possible? How does this happen? That these people are kind of asked to C4 again show up, and one's a different sex this time. And like the whole other thing, like I had first, like I had the thought, like that dude on stage looks like Brocky, and um, he like kind of looks like Brocky. He wasn't all weird out. Like Dave Brocky has a very unique personality. It's just a unique personality, weird thing that doesn't happen that started cluing me into this stuff in 2020. Like when I had two Joes in the same room who were pretty much being my best friends, who I don't have a lot of contact with people, and especially people who help me out on that level and stuff. I mean, generally my contact is just saying hi and walking by someone. And then, so I had that thought, like, damn, that looks like Dave Brocky. And then, like, when Gwar comes on, the other dude who, like, really looks like Dave Brocky come on. So I had that thought first, that that Dave Brocky, like, I had that thought, Dave Brocky. And you know what? Before I went to the concert, I probably was thinking about that girl because I was probably talking about it. Because um, I was like, there's the weird thing is though is I wasn't really. I said there's only really one person I went after. I liked, and I would have thought of the other person probably at the same time. But if it's an AI rolling things, then that would have easily confused my words for that person because it's not that person who I approached. I just thought they're an interesting person and they had a boyfriend, so that's all it really mattered. Kind of. But that's definitely not who I was talking about when I had that thought. But when I said that shit about, that's weird, that dude on stage looks like Dave Brocky, and then a dude who looks like and acts like even more like Dave Brocky came up. Like, I don't know what the dude on the stage really acted like. He wasn't acting like Dave Brocky. People have tics. Like, when you meet, like, different people, they're different. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone's running around in the street screaming in circles every time you see them, you might think of that same person if they're running, or if you see someone running around the street in circles. But what if the next time you see someone running around in the street screaming, you're in another place and it looks like the same person, acts like the same person, talks like the same person? This has been happening a lot to me, like a hell of a lot. And so I was testing this. This was 4 years ago. I'm trying to like avoid it to like enjoy life and stuff. Like, if I could like harness the whatever it is, then I could probably make the perfect life. But I'm trying to like avoid it because it kind of like kills. It's killed everything since then. I mean, everything's gone. There's no point to being here after seeing all that stuff, really. Like, how fake is the world? What was the point of it to begin with? I didn't leave my house for most of my life, and I started before 2020, and then 2020 came and did my job, and then was pretty much outside for like a year or two. But now I'm like right back to where I was, and it's like, dude, I've been having this feeling all along, though, haven't I? Like, that there's something not right about this world. And whatever it is, it's like I've asked to see some of these people. Not only do I just like say the words and the people appear, but I've asked to see some, and then like a clone of them comes and talk to me. And it really does take a bit to talk to me and stuff. Hell, even the one person I met, like, recently in the past few weeks, dude, like, the one dude at the gym's, like, carrying my backpack around that I was carrying in 2020. Now, all of a sudden, this backpack style, like, had a company invent it in 2020 for normal people. Military tactical stuff. And now, bodybuilders everywhere are using it. And it's like, dude, that's what I was carrying to the gym and stuff. And, dude, I didn't know it yet, but the dude at my gym was carrying around it, and I was like, huh, hey, cool, someone else is carrying a tactical gear bag at the gym. But then it's like showing up in my feed now. Now it's all famous too. Now like I'm getting like bodybuilders, like pro bodybuilders are like advertising and stuff. And this stuff keeps happening. Like the little assault trying to kill me the other day thing. Well, some people died a few days after that, who would have been small parts of those crews. And that made like national headlines because I guess it doesn't happen every 5 seconds or something. And so it's real important when that happens. But I told you, didn't I? I told you that let's wait and see. And none of the exact words I said, I don't think were part of that exactly. But I told you I've been noticing this for a while. When things happen to me, they shift back, and then there'd be. I was getting scared in 2020 because they were talking to me about the mirror reflection and all that stuff. Manifestation in the world being created around me. And like all those people, I mean, everyone, it's like everyone's been empty puppets since 2020 doing things. And that stuff that was all happening, like I was just kind of taking it all hard, and I wasn't I was like taking it all offensively because it's like, how the fuck are these people appearing out of nowhere and talking to me about my private life, you know, movies, music, stuff like that, appearing, and they're like replicas of things that are happening to me. Like Matrix 4 was happening to me before I went in to see it. I don't know what the hell's going on in that movie. I don't control birds. I didn't know I was supposed to be, you know, taking my blue pills by the bottle full and, you know, standing on the ledge, getting ready to jump and stuff. I made a video of that, though. I was making a video because I was using the video as cover-up for what I was really doing, standing on the ledge. And then that was weird, too, because they sent someone outside to, like, tell me to get away from the ledge. And it's like, dude, I'm in a parking lot. Like, I don't know what the hell your nation does. People who are standing in a parking lot taking videos. I'm a tourist over here making tourist videos. You know, as far as anyone knew, that's all I was doing. I was over there making a tourist video and not analyzing, looking for sharp objects to fall upon, like large metal stakes, hopefully. Then I go in the movie, and like the first 30 minutes of that movie, and then it's like, dude, like, and so because that starts happening in the movie, I'm like fucking taking my fucking pills, which in this nation just happen to be blue pills. And then he's like fucking popping the blue pills like candy too. Dude, that's like Keanu Reeves in Matrix 4. So how the fuck does that happen, dude? And like, how come no one came to me and talked to me about this stuff till 2020? Did it really take me starting to see it all and starting to say certain words for anyone else to be able to repeat those words back to me? Like, oh, that's weird. It's almost like I'm creating the world around me. And then all of a sudden, I mean, people are really appearing almost out of nowhere. And I was testing. I went to I was like, I'm gonna go around the corner and talk to the next person who does this. And it's happened so freaking much and stuff. It's like, what's going on here? Like, am I like in this world alone? Like, how does that happen that I ask a question, I jump off the bus, and two people walk by and they answer the question in a way that's obvious, but they're not talking to me. They're talking to each other as they walk by. And this, like, bro, like, I don't want to be alive, that's for sure. But I definitely don't want to, like, be around people or talk to people ever again. Mostly I don't want to be alive. You know, I don't think this is living. I think this is some fake game world. I'm quite sure on that. I'm really God, and I'm inventing a portion of people on the planet. I travel universe to universe, creating people, and that's how the world, that's how the multiverses exist. Right. You're telling me I should just like ignore the simple fact that there could be something else going on here, and stick my head in the sand and just go with it. And I'm trying to. I need the right stuff to do that. I need the right drugs to whack my mind. I can do that if I have access to the right chemicals. I think, I don't know. My mind's getting pretty strong, and my mind, so things don't work on me like they do on other people. And if I start like taking like sleeping pills every day all day long to go to sleep, they don't work anymore. But I used to have things semi under control, I thought. I guess I was wrong on that. But it's still like better than having to be worried about this and seeing all this stuff happen. I'm not a big fan of thinking of the other possibilities here. That there's some really really bad stuff going on in this world, and you know what? No matter how much I see that happen, it doesn't rule out the fact that adding it up does point to the fact that highly probability it's a game world, and I don't think I just join a game. I don't know. The God creation games are cool, but generally the God creation games, like, they have like enemies in them and goals, and so you work your way through the world. You win. You know, you beat the enemies. Bad guys are coming after your people. You freaking flood them and raise the land, lower their land, sink them into the ocean, things like that. You know, even in the most mundane, non-violent ones, you pretty much just end up flooding half the people and sinking their land into water and then rebuilding it for the other people to go on. And I think the game's obviously dropping a lot of hints because a lot of this stuff was here before. Before I seen anything, I'm pretty sure that it was already like talking to me and telling me. I mean, I didn't know the word New World Order, and I don't think so when I was a kid. But the music I was fed way different than what other people listen to. I never met anyone. I'm so alone in this world because it's like I listen to music that no one fucking ever knew and shit. I just like, there's no reason to go outside almost ever and stuff. You know, I listen to Metallica or stuff, but right away, like, I found this other stuff and it was talking about all this stuff that's like, apparently like been an issue and stuff, and like those bands today, like Snog today, like is like one of the bands that like made a video about the mass stuff, you know, not celebrating and praising it, and but they were talking about that stuff, you know, like 30 years ago, and so it's like, okay, so what is this? It's like a game world with like a set narrative and shit, because is it even allowing me to stick my head in the sand? Like, you know, if I'm creating stuff and stuff's being invented around me, I feel like I'd do a lot better for the world by building it and being like forcing myself ways to be positive, and that manifests and creates something better than me wanting to like conquer the world or dispel of it of evil demon species. But you know, sometimes it's almost like it's trying to make sure that doesn't stay there that long. You know, like just like total happiness and shit. And it's like I want to go there, but I also don't want to like ignore all the continual signs. But even when I like talk about this, like, okay, so the AI and stuff around me, like sometimes it's not like mirror reflective response. Sometimes it's kind of like, sometimes whatever's there is like hateful in response to me standing up for myself or saying certain things. I'm like, well, we got to get rid of this shit, and then they'll make some videos about people whining, stuff like that, and like, no, 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 it's all you. You're all inventing it. That's your fault. It's like, why don't we tell everyone else? And then the one dude talking to me was like, well, it's because people don't need to know who you are. And I understood that when I was younger, but I would think after learning this, after running for president, I think that's really like what changed my whole mindset was doing that, and then just noticing it's like, wow, they're like just totally like covering me up, and that even though little things happen, like I don't know if I asked for it, but people would like be in my comments dropping links to videos, like showing me like events I was at that would really show, like, well, I'm getting like in the middle of a riot, surrounded by everyone. I don't see what's actually happening. All I see is like someone in my face and we're yelling at each other or something. I generally don't yell at people, but you know what I'm saying. And so like little things like that would happen that would like almost like push and promote a storyline further where I wouldn't necessarily even understood some of these things if little magic hints didn't get dropped everywhere. And the little, like I said, the little magic hints have been that point towards it being something different have been dropped for a long ass time. I was listening to music when I was a kid that other people didn't, and was talking about some of the stuff that eventually unfolded. And not only that, we have the date 2020. How did the world know that 2020 thing was going to happen in 2020? Like, this is when this all came to. I was already studying it and seeing people around me weren't exactly very the same person or human like. And I was beginning to wonder, like, okay, so they're like, these people have been paid off by this group, right, to stalk and terrorize me, and as close as they might be to me, that completely sold me out at this point in time. And there was little things like everyone got gifts. Certain people I was around gave everyone gifts, and that looks weird to me when you tip everybody you walk by. Because I understand that means now they're on your side versus another stranger. Two strangers walk up to you, one gives you money. Something happens over the next few weeks that they see whose side are they going to be on next time they see you. Obviously, they're going to be on the side of the person giving them money. Generally, right? I don't know if I've met people who put anything above money. But like all that stuff was lining up too. It really was, but it's like kind of hard to deny it. But it's the creation stuff, but it doesn't look like it's like 100% there. And then we have these little flaws here, like and just thinking it's like a pure total creation. As it happens. We have to look at 2020 vision. 2020 was when vision was given. And then we were being taught about that stuff when we were kids. I was. No one else was. Hell, most of this shit happened in the world. A lot of it I was being taught about. Some of those people nowadays are back, but the same thing happens where like I start talking about someone again, and then they end up in the media again or something like that. Bro, this is weird. I'm not very happy So I don't I don't really like being forced to be alive anymore. Like I think of all things, that's what I'm most pissed about. Is still having to be forced to be here. For my world, how come I didn't die when I said I wanted to? If I'm in control, how come I don't get to leave when I say I want to? So another little thing that points that it's like a game with a set storyline and shit. But I know I can't be like everyone's involved. First of all, because the teleporting type shit, the magically type, almost magically appearing and the brain hijacking and stuff, like, I really doubt they're actors being shipped out to cities and stuff to talk to me. And there's a lot of other flaws there in the total creation thing. But yeah, like when I request the stuff to help me deal with my emotions and keep them to have emotions. Period. How about that? To have good emotions and not just be fucking pissed off at this shit all the time. No. A lot of these things all point to the same thing too. If I'm looking at it like it's a game world with little set pieces that they've purposely been provoking me here and there to pressure events that happen and things like that. So that is kind of like a common theme there with the things that are visible as anomalies in the creation theory. But at the same time, like, I mean, how many of these people out here aren't real and aren't participating? I mean, no one's participating in the story almost, right? I guess I shouldn't say that because there's a lot of stuff happening in 2020. But, I'm saying, like, participating in the good side, I generally don't see that. But there have been little motions, but at the same time, when it came, events unfold and stuff. If they're unfolding over time, like every 4 years or something. And bow, bow, bow. This happens to the world, that happens to the world. Each time something happens to me. And then, like 2020 hits, and all of a sudden, it just happens to be the year where I'm like fully aware that this is happening, and I'm done studying the people around me because they've already shown me. At the same time, I asked to see everything in 2022. So, like, how is that set up that it ends up being the year I asked to see everything, and then I get shown all that stuff too? How does that get set up if it's not like a rail-based storyline with plots unfolding at certain exact times too? Like, that would mean that I was pretty much guided and directed my whole life in order to be able to force me to get out of my house by 2020 and stuff. So I had no plans on going around people until about 2019 when I started doing campaigning. So that was like 19 years or 39 years of precursory settings that would have had to have escalated real fast to push a storyline that fast for things to unfold in 2020. And so it makes me wonder if it's not just all like a pretty set up storyline like that. And yeah, hell yeah, dude, there's people there. Looking back, I can see that before. I can see the others. But I didn't know to be like spooked out by them or question who the fuck they were and why they were in my lives back then. So I didn't really question things like that. Although I did sometimes get the weird feeling. It's like, how come like anyone's around me? Like, I feel like I'm comfortable around people, and I spend a lot of time like trying to force myself not to be anywhere near them. hell, like it feels like the game, like a lot of it's been just like me being like, oh no, what the fuck's happening here? Let's get the hell off of this planet. And then it unfolds in that 2020 shit, and it's like, wow, like you didn't even have to go around them to understand that they were up to something and something wasn't right with them. But it's happening, I can tell you that. And so what? So what's the plot line here? We got like an evil alien race who's like, ooh, a little more powerful than the humans or something. Little might be a small term. And I'm supposed to be like here to stop that. Like, and if we're gonna go by the stories that everyone in this world pushes, my final answer to stop that is the only logical way I could see to fully stop a world that you just don't know who the demon is, but it's fucking totally swamped with them, would be that answer. I came to that on my conclusion. I don't need some book to tell me who to be and what to think. And I try to like kick it too. I try to like kick it as hard as I can away from me, you know. Someone kicks you a ball in soccer, you're like, here's the ball, take it, hit the goal. And I'm like, get your ball and your goal away from me. I've been trying that. And then, shit, one of the times I go outside, like, because I'm trying to stay inside and not go outside, so they take full advantage and try to kill me again the other day. And it's like, damn, dude. Like, can I even avoid this shit? And how does it get set up like that? Like with the time frame, like, does that mean like every interaction there is just like a complete walkthrough? It's just like you don't really have too much free will or free travel ability in USA, because when I was traveling, it was all about doing this stuff. So, I mean, by the time I seen that, that's when I was leaving. And the hell, if it didn't happen, I might not have been forced to leave, but I was already going to. I'd already planned on throwing everything away and leaving and stuff. Although I feel like tricked into that. But again, it's like, what am I being tricked by? Who's doing that stuff? Like, is it the game just outright forcing me to do that? Like to do all that, and then like who gave me the idea to leave in the first place? Who the hell told me I thought I should be God and run the world and start on my quest to go do that? And then I fucked up too, because I become like that's the person I became, is like a person who thought I could run the world. How many people really fucking do that? And they got that song, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I'm always like, damn, dude, are these musicians like just AI auto-generated? And like, I'd never really met anyone who talked about ruling the world or trying to become president or anything. I met people who worked with people who actually run the world. I've met people, lots of people like that. Met the people who run the world houses and shit like that. They all know a lot about some of them. But like, how does that all unfold? Shit, and look at. Okay, so we can explain. I guess that can be explained. Why I worked for some of them was because I grew up with people who worked for them. But it's not like anyone had ever. It's not like my dad had ever been like, you know what, son, someday you need to become president and things need to change. He probably, yeah, I'm sure he said those words that things need to change once or twice, but he was never like us. Someday, Sean, you're going to stop being a little heathen and you're going to grow up and become, I want you to become a politician or something. He never said anything. Like, no one ever told me anything. Hell, I was like, when I was a kid, I was like, I want to be an astronaut, because I was like a high scorer in school, and I thought space was real back then. And That's what happens when you score high in school. You think this stuff is real. You think this world's real. You're like, yeah, I've got this world figured out. That's not the way to learn it's fake, though, is by thinking you haven't figured out. At least that's what I thought. But I'm thinking it's like, this shit's being pushed on me and stuff. And then 2020 thing unfolded in 2020. So someone somewhere knew that 2020 would be the year that stuff happened, and the year some people, who knows how many others, get shown that the world is like fake, and um, you know, like, because to me, like, that's what that means. That's why it's called 2020 vision, because 2020 vision isn't perfect vision. If you know your health, if you know your optometry, then you know that that's not perfect vision. But 2020 vision, seeing the world for what it is in 2020, that does qualify as a parable for the term perfect vision. And well, anyone who has vision of 2020 and should have a better sight on the world. But me specifically, I'm kind of doubting other people have seen all that stuff. But yeah, I'm not very happy with like the few assaults and attempts on my life and stuff. Especially the like when they just railroad me into forcing me to do stuff and play games with me and shit. And it's like that's gonna end real fucking bad if they're right. I mean, look, if they're setting it up, one thing I'm worried about is if this group is setting things up to scapegoat me for something I'm not, and we have some alien shape-shifting group who it really is a terror of the planet, and they're just looking for their scapegoat to blame for things. Yeah, so that's kind of it there. I'm just not going to be anyone's scapegoat and take a fall for what other people have done manually with their hands. So I just, it's hard to believe in everything I see these days. I think it's easier to believe in things I see than it used to be in a lot of ways. Whatever. We're gonna have to do something. I really like. I need to. I just need to go back in time to 2020 and buy a shotgun. That's what I need. I think that's the best possible outcome because I've not been too happy with seeing this stuff and feeling this way. So yeah, I mean this shit's been kind of cool, but it's not cool like at all. Like the feeling really has not been. So I mean, to me, that's the answer. I don't see how I'm going to live in a world with a bunch of clones or bots or something. If they're just there to cause problems and shit, they can take their world and take a hike with it.